Catadine 0.6 liter is really nice. I'm just topping off my fluids right now because there won't be water for maybe like 5 miles. And this amount of water right here normally gets me, like, this is 0.7 liters and this is 0.6 liters. And this normally gets me 5 miles on a warmer day. I know it's dripping, but I just need to tighten that up. Yeah, and I just use, so the Smart Water bottle is 0.6 liters. You can tell it's mine because it's got the ripstop by the roll sticker on it to differentiate it. And I just throw it here in this pocket, and then I'll just top this thing off and tighten the lid a little bit better this time. Yeah, but check out the spring. It just comes in here like just a ton of flow, and then it just goes into nowhere. It's awesome. And then this little guy, yeah, this just comes into this pocket right here. And that's it. That's what the process of filtering water looks like. Whew. So today is day 26. It's Monday. Tiger Woods won the Masters yesterday. So I don't know what that makes it for April what? 18? Oh, 15th is today. Oh, it's tax day. That's right. I had to move some tax dollars around this morning. Did what? Oh, happy birthday, brother John. Here's what we're doing right now. We're chilling out, checking out these big views. They're not amazing, but they're not bad either. We zeroed yesterday in Erwin, Tennessee. We stayed at the Super 8, which is right by kind of like the downtown strip of Erwin. It's like a half a mile. It's not even a half a mile. It's a little over a quarter from the Super 8 to downtown. Super 8 was nice. Yeah, just a nice Super 8. Caters to hikers. The management staff was really nice, really good people. So if you're in Erwin and you need a place to stay, that might be good. What else is going on today? So we've got a big climb that we're finishing up right now. We're 9 miles in, which is crazy because the climb looked really steep and high, because it is. It's like a 3,600 or 3,500 foot climb in total. But it's been really, really gentle. So we are not complaining. And it's cold too. There was a big storm yesterday, and with the tail end of the storm, it was a cold front pushing into a warm front, which is what we had yesterday. And so here we are sitting in the cold. But yeah, I'm wearing my winter hiking stuff right now, which sucks. I'm thinking about in the next couple days, I want to, like, I know they say, oh, don't send your winter gear home until you get through Mount Rogers, which is just north of Damascus, and not until the end of April. But I haven't worn I think I'm gonna send my puffy home. I've got the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisper. And let's just clarify something. I've had the Ghost Whisper for a long time before it became like the thing. I just stumbled across it, and it was super light, and it's been a good jacket. Actually, it was a great jacket for this trip so far. We started the 21st of March, and I never felt like I needed anything heavier. Mine is an 850 fill. I think most of them now come in at 800 fill. Mine's got the 850 fill, and it doesn't have the hood. And it packs up pretty light. I want to say it only weighs like 6 ounces or something like that. But it's bulky, and and I haven't been using it. I haven't used it since the Smokies. And here we are on the other side of Erwin, Tennessee. You know, we're about to go up to the Roan Mountain. So yeah, it'd just be nice to have the winter over. You can actually hear the ice falling out of the trees right now. It wasn't like super icy. There was just a decent amount of rain that came through yesterday evening. I did a little time lapse yesterday just from the hotel room window, and you can kind of see that late evening storm rolling in. I'm on a climb right now up to this thing called the Beauty Spot. Here, maybe you can see some ice on the next gust. But this has been the steepest part of the climb all day. Yeah, so always thinking about sending stuff home, just to lighten the pack. Trying to, if one thing helps in backpacking, it's having less stuff, just less wear on your muscles and your joints, less crap that gets in the way in the morning when you're packing in, or when you're taking your tent out, or if you want to stop for lunch. You know, I organize my pack so everything's set up for the day. So I put like a couple morning snacks on the outside of my pack. All the water's on the outside of the pack. Today I've got gloves hanging on my pack. I've got my hat, which also hangs on my pack, which is great. And then I just tuck it back here. All I did is I just put a little string and this like cool little this came with my Sea to Summit spoon. It's just a titanium, little 10-pound titanium carabiner. But most of the time I never wear the Mally when I'm hiking. This is one of the few times where it's like you're just kind of right in that little temperature spot where you need, you know, long sleeve insulation. But man, it just sucks. The cold is so annoying. I know it works if you're going skiing, and I don't complain when I like skiing at about, my favorite temperature to go skiing is like 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's 15 out and it's snowing, I am like a super happy camper. Even if it's 15 degrees out, I mean, I like skiing in overcast conditions, with the right goggles. But when it gets bluebird, holy cow, you really just melt. Snow starts getting hard and all that good stuff. And then snow falls out of the trees and gets you all wet. So yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to this weather going away. So the other day I was talking about choosing your steps. I was talking about form, and you know, like my recommendation, of course, is like, you know, if you're going to use trekking poles, don't become complacent with the way you step. If you find yourself getting tired in your steps, you need to slow down or stop. Then I started saying, well, trekking poles, like, I don't use trekking poles. I mean, I've got them, but when I use them, when I first started the trail, you know, I was using trekking poles towards the end of the day. If I had to push out another 4 miles, like when we left, we tried to stay at, I can't remember the name of the creek. It was on like day 2. We tried to stay at some creek and we had to push another 4 miles, and I was really tired. And yeah, whip the trekking poles out, and with your trekking poles you can like plant and pull yourself, you know, up the mountain. And on the downhill, you can like, you know, you can really efficiently build yourself like a handrail. That's what I always say. You know, build yourself a handrail going down the mountain. So each step you have like something to hold on to that's very firm. But the downside of the trekking pole is that you have to be conscientious not only now of your steps, but also of where you're pole planting. And what ends up happening with a lot of people is they only become conscientious about their pole planting and they just kind of drag their feet behind them. And I get that. When you first put a 30-pound pack on, even if you put a 15-pound pack on and you've just been walking, like, you want something, a little extra support for the day. But yeah, just in the long run, just a piece of advice, if you're gonna use trekking poles, like, just be aware of twisting your knees and all that stuff, because it still happens. People just get ahead of themselves with the trekking poles, so try to do that. Something else I just talked about was your pack weight. Like, another thing that really improves your form is carrying less weight. And is it worth it? Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it. You're gonna end up, I make the mistake of being too frugal, and I buy things that are too heavy. And then what I do, I put them in the mail, and I spend $15, to send my $400 tent back home to mom. I gotta show you this. We're coming into one of these sweet bulbs. But yeah, like, if you buy the wrong piece of gear, you're just gonna end up sending it home. So you can expect that you're gonna spend $15 on that. If you leave it in a hiker box, you just lost all that money. So, just something to think about. And I know I'm sending home some gear in the next day or two. Shoe wise, I know I just stepped out of the La Sportivas into the Solomons, but I had the La Sportivas. I bought them 2 years ago to replace my current trail runners, and I just didn't do enough trail running after I bought them to need to replace into them. So yeah, I was glad that I did some hiking and let my body figure out its weight. And then I stepped into what I would consider a more mature shoe, just a more proven, like a well-proven, well-known design, which is the Sporty, or the Solomon. It's just cold out, man. Cold and miserable. I mean, the sun's great, but I checked the Boone weather, which Boone is, I think from where we are, Boone, by line of sight, is like 25, 30 miles, something like that, 35 miles. And they're calling for 45 mile per hour winds. Like 30 mile per hour winds with like 45 to 55 mile per hour gusts until like 9 o'clock tonight. So it's going to be a cold and a hellacious day. Let's see what Nibbles is doing. Pretty out though. Check out these white blossoms on these trees in front of us here. It's just phenomenal. I guess this is called the beauty spot, and I can see why. And I don't know if that's white blossoms or if that's just ice in the tree. So we'll check that out here in a minute. So anyway, back to pack weight. It tends to be one of the most important elements of backpacking is pack weight. I mean, I could put up a video in the future about it, and I can talk about all of my gear choices. Actually, we should look at Nibble's gear choices, because she has a much more thoughtful backpack than I've got. But there's 20 great videos by 20 great ultralight backpackers on what they're using and how they, clip grams and cut tags and trimmed little bits off their backpacks and off their shoes. But in the end, they pile it all up, every little thing that they trimmed off, and all these like luxuries that they decided to go without. They got base weights that are like 7 pounds. They're carrying 2 pounds of food. You know, like like it's impressive. And when you're running it, let's say you're running a backpack that's you got a total weight of 12 or 13 pounds with water and food. I mean, you can pretty much fly at that point. So just some things to keep in mind, and it's on my mind all the time. I have a 50 liter pack. I've got the Six Moon Designs Fusion 50, and I've got their original pack. Their original Fusion 50 was like a beta model, and I got it off their website brand new for $100. And I just made the decision when I bought that pack. I knew it was a 50 and not like a 65 liter. It was 50 liters with everything, including the exterior pockets and everything. So really the main pack is only like 40 or 45 liters, and then everything else is on the outside. But I just made the decision that all my stuff was going to fit in that pack for the AT, and it has, including, you know, at sometimes like 10 pounds of food, which is ridiculous. But we had enough food to go for 7 days at one point. So you got to check this out. We're on the climb. Put my hat on here. Hey, got my gloves and my hat back. The wind is just whipping through up here. It's cold. Check this out. I guess if you wanted to, you see that truck over there? I guess you could just drive up here. And yes, they just confirmed all this white stuff on the trees. Those are blossoms. That's the blossom of the freezing rain. This is an amazing day. There's nibbles. Yep.
It hits the head with the ice that's falling as you walk by and the wind blows.
It's cold. Or it's cold. Is that where we're going? Is that the road over there? Who knows? There's a lot of ice in that mountain. What I mean, you just look out here behind us. I mean, that's insane too. Yeah, all this wind. This is one of those like It's raining ice from the trees right now. The wind is we're on a knob right now, and we're about to do one more climb. But man, the wind's been really cold. It's been like I feel like the wind chill has been down into the like 10 degree Fahrenheit range today at certain times. I mean, it's just like almost painful to stand in. No, it's not almost, it's painful to stand in. So anyway, we've just had some really cool little ice falls lately. I don't know if you can see the ice in the trees either, but they got icy last night, so. Voila. This kind of reminds me of this. Well, it doesn't remind me of anything. You can tell we're starting to get into one of those 5,000 foot plus forests just by all the moss. You got a bunch of Got a bunch of birches and not pines. I don't know what these are. I know some of them are Fraser firs. I don't know what other kind of firs grow at high altitude. I should get like a tree identification book. I downloaded the Cornell Labs Merlin program for identifying birds. Just the southwest or the southeastern, just the southeastern package alone is 580 megabytes. So it's super handy though. You just put in what you think you saw, colors, what size bird, what colors, where it was in the tree, and then it spits you out a couple options of what bird you may have seen. Sure is icy up here though. I don't know if you remember my Smoky Mountain National Park videos, but when we were getting over to Klingman's, and actually for the full day afterwards, this is kind of what the forest started looking like. Fully decorated Christmas trees.